Oh, we man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here today with another episode of Real Spit for today with Concrete Slab. Yeah, I am Concrete Slab, strength of the foundation, heart of the mouth. Got the street screaming silent and your bitch one purple. You might not like me, but y'all bitch, dude. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with a solid nigga. Yeah, man. Hey, man. Today, I have a very, very special guest. Y'all, believe me or not, y'all know who this gentleman is, but y'all don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to even introduce him. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
What's up with it? What's up with it? Where's your boy Ricky L. Carter? That's my government name. My mom and my daddy gave me. You know what I'm talking about? I go by Gifted to go get a gift from God. Go get it for the people, for y'all. You know what I'm talking about? And family say back in the, you know me because back in the early 90s, like 80s, I was on a television show called Barney and Friends with the Purple Dinosaur. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all. I remember if y'all youngsters, if you're 30 and under or something like that, then ask your mama and your daddy how popular Barney was back in the 90s. It was God, then Barney, then Sesame Street. It was the biggest thing popping, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, that's me when I was back in the early 90s there. You know what I'm talking about? 6 years, 7 years on Barney and Friends. But I'm in these streets now, man. I'm the number one inspirational walker worldwide, not just in Texas. You know what I'm talking about? But we talking about, you know, Asia, Africa, number one, not number two. And I do motivational speaking as well. You know, but I'm your favorite rapper. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? You know, so we'll get into all that as well.
Okay, so disclaimer, no pun intended, no disrespect to my kinfolk, you know what I'm saying? We'll get to that too. No disrespect to the platform because I'm smoking. Saying that to say, yes, man. Like, let me touch on what you said. No, nigga, they still watching Barney. My kids.
Yeah.
No, nigga, like, my 9-year-old's watching, so I know, like, that shit still going. Like, I can call somebody now and they'll tell me the story about their child just watching you on television.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, on that notion, like, where are you from? Where are you originally from?
Well, I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I moved up here when I was 7 years old in North Dallas, over out Spring Valley, and then I moved to Mesquite when I was like in 2021, so I was about 20, you know what I'm saying? I've been in this little area ever since, but I was originally born in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
And then as far as disclaimer too, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you know, people, hey, it could be straight up tobacco in here, you know what I'm talking about? K2, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So y'all don't need to know about what y'all need to know until we give y'all what y'all need to know, you know what I'm talking about? So that's my disclaimer.
But saying so on what you were saying with the Barney and how did you get into that?
Well, good question, man. When I was younger, people always would say, man, it's just something about you. Like, it's something different about your energy and your spirit, you know, things of that nature. And so they say, man, it's just like my mama, you know, I was raised by a single mother. My dad wasn't ever around. So my mama said, you know, I'm going to get you into something because you have a different type of personality. And so what happened is, and a lot of people don't know this story, solid, but
Heard here first.
you remember Ghost Dad with Bill Cosby back in the days?
Yeah.
Okay. The dude that was on the show with Bill Cosby's son, the little light-skinned dude with the curly hair,
Yeah.
that was the original dude from Barney. A lot of people didn't know that. So his name is Salim Grant.
Yeah.
And Salim Grant, what happened was that he was on there with Sandy Duncan in the late 80s, and something happened with the crew, and they had this big casting call. And so when they had out there in Allen, Texas, that's where Barney was filmed at. And so when they had the big casting call, then it was a two-day event. It was huge. Like, I went out the first day and it was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids there, and I didn't know about it. I had just got an agent.
Right.
And so they was like, yeah, we'll go with Barney, whatever. I was like, Barney, whatever, you know. So I was like, all right, cool. So I went out there and got a call back on the second day. And on the second day, what was crazy is that my partner, Carlos, came up in the acting ranks with me. Him and I were the only ones who got a call back. And so when we got back on that second day, got that call back, they said sing Starlight Star Bright.
Right.
So when I sung Starlight Star Bright, it was over. It was history. Yeah.
Nick, so like you was what age with an agent?
I was 7.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so
I was 7. Get
wow, like how do you like what are those talks about? Like like how did you prepare for the episodes? Or like man, I don't at 7, man, I was fucking playing with He-Man.
Right. Now it was like it was weird because there was something new that I'd never done before. So my mom, she was like, before you can go outside and before you can play any games, you got to remember this 60-page script. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't like until we got our deal with the Ross Perot and PBS, it wasn't as many, like it was just videos. It wasn't like TV shows, so I didn't have to memorize a lot. But it was, 40, 50 pages, 60 pages of not just every page, but like dialogue that I had to memorize, and I was just like a machine, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I just memorized my lines, and it was like a machine that I kept going, and so that was it.
So if I was watching Barney at the age I was at, nigga, like I was watching you during the time you were recording.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. And it was in Allen.
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, I was somewhere in Webb Chapel probably being bad as fuck. Like,
right.
Man, I salute you that like I'm just now getting into some acting type shit. Like, so how did they come up with the name? Did you have a choice in it?
Well, Derek, they didn't tell me, like, ask me like, what do you want your name to be and things like that. It was just like I don't even know. Trey, do you recall how we came up with Derek, or do you recall, or is it just no? Yeah, they didn't even ask me, Kimpo. It was just like, hey, your name gonna be Derek. I don't know behind the scenes how they got it, but when we looked it up on a spiritual level, the name Derek was deep. Like it means like, you know what was the name meaning, Trey?
It meant leader.
Like spirits, like was it Greek or?
Something like that. It's like Greek for leader.
Yeah.
That was what your character portrayed.
Yeah, so it was like leader, you know what I'm saying? And I did a post, I'm gonna tag you on go back. I did a post on the name a couple months ago because I was intrigued about that. How did they come up with the name and things of that nature? But yeah, it means leader.
Yeah. Okay. So, how did you juggle school with shooting?
At first, when I moved here to Texas, I went to Skyview Elementary on Whitehurst in North Dallas. And so when I went there, I would go to school for a little bit, then I would shoot. But then as we got closer to being on TV, getting a deal with Channel 13 with PBS, then they had a teacher on staff on spot. So we did all the named Terry, Miss Terry Gilpin, and so we did all the schooling there, and she just taught different levels, ages or whatever. You know what I'm saying, on set.
How long? How many episodes did you shoot? How long was you there?
Well, at first we were doing for years. We were doing just videos, and so I would only do a couple of videos a year.
Right.
But what happened is when we got our deal, then with PBS, we would do like, I would say between maybe like 15 videos or 20 episodes a year. But each episode, it took us about a week to like rehearse. Like we did like 2 or 3 days for choreography, and then we filmed for about like 3 days. And so then what happened is that I would like say I filmed 1 week, then that next week I would be off. Or say if I filmed 2 weeks back to back, I would be off for like 2 weeks. So it wasn't every week that I would be filming,
Yeah.
but it would be broken down like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, but they usually all did everything within a week, 5-day period time frame.
So when y'all sung the songs, y'all went into like a real studio and recorded?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we prior we had sung songs at like a studio.
Right.
And did it there, and then we went on set, and then we would just go over, you know what I'm saying, what we already had pre-recorded. So yeah, I didn't even know anything about that game until I got in there with them. It was like, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is weird. I didn't know how that worked.
What's the fucking song? Hey, Mr. Nick.
Boppity bop.
No,
I
I
like the
remember
way
you
that
did
you boppity bop. I like the way that you boppity bop.
That's fucking crazy. We all grew up watching these bands, straight up.
Nah, for real.
And man, like, so was you at like big studios?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, but what's funny is that the other studio that we had when we went to go record it wasn't like a huge big place, but it was all high quality, and it was, you know what I'm saying, like it was like when you come in like this, but it was like when you looked at it, it was like a lot of digital stuff, and just they professionals, they
Yeah.
real pros.
So considering like, not to speed up or not, but considering your knowledge now, did you bump into like any like known engineers as a kid?
I might have, but I didn't take like the game and how I run my business now.
Yeah.
If I would have just known how important and how big I was at that time, it would have been a whole different ball game. I was just like a robot.
Right.
I was like a machine. My mama, single mama, she was like, "Hey man, you get up 5 a.m. You know, you gotta make sure that you go to work, clock in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 8 to 4, 8 to 5. Come home, memorize your scripts. You know what I'm saying? And it was the same thing. Like, I was like a machine. I ain't even go out and kick it a lot or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, but like, what was the like pay that, I mean, not to be out in your shit.
Yeah.
What was the end profit of that? Like,
so, you know, I'm glad you asked me that question, Solid. You know, when we got to the TV part of it, and it was good as a kid, you know what I'm saying, we was getting up, just say ballpark, and just make it around 1,600 a show. But when you times that by like 15 or 20 episodes a year,
yeah.
then I make more than my mama. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But the thing about it is that my mom never put together a play where the money was saved and, you know, hey, when you get to a certain age, you know what I'm saying, you be able to invest in yourself and things of that nature, whatever. So, you know, I had everything I wanted, you know what I'm saying, like far as clothes, games, accessories, like everything, you know what I'm saying. I bought my first whip by myself at 15, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, I had all that stuff, but I didn't have the knowledge of what it really means to work hard for $1 and save it and invest it.
Right.
That's why now my daughter, Angel Carter, Angel the Order's vice president of our company, of Go Get Enterprises, and she owned her own business as of July last year. I'll teach her and my son the SSI, spend, save, and invest.
Right.
And I take a certain portion of every dollar that I get, and I put it to the spending. I take a portion of every savings and every portion of investing, and even with their money, and I show them what my mom didn't show me, and so that's how they ahead of the game at 14 and 16, because they apply those rules and them principles.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? But that's one of the things I could really say, bro, that really hurt as I got older, that I didn't have that backing financially, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like the man of the family. I was a single mother, and, you know, she had, you know, bills and expenses, and we had whatever we wanted. And so, you know, if the pay was okay, it was pretty good at that time, but it just wasn't managed the way I felt like it should have been managed, you know what I'm saying?
Like with us knowing this shit today, is you think it's any way that you can receive revenue just by them continuously still running the episodes you in?
Well, the people that bought what's the toy company? Mattel bought, what's the name of it? What's the people? Mattel bought into Barney, and they own the rights now. So they wanted to actually send me a big check for some bands last year because of what now they got in the fall of this year. They got Barney coming back, and it's gonna be huge or whatever. So they want for the name, image, name, image, and likeness. You know what I'm saying? So they want to. So there's certain things that they can use and can't use without my permission. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't sign for it. You know, I told them, you know, why if I'm Jordan, I don't need to sign first. You know what I'm saying? Right. Let me sign last. You know what I'm saying?
The other cast members are alive still?
Yeah, everybody, from my understanding, is still alive and doing their thing.
You never kept in contact with nobody?
No. Well, the only person I kept in contact was Tasha Hope, the Mexican chick mixed with Hispanic. She came a little bit after me, but Tasha, and also Jessica, which is, what's her name on the show? Tina, which is Tina, the other Hispanic young chick, Lucy, little sister. Yeah. But I mean, we just didn't just keep in contact. But them the only two that I really sort of, to this day, like we follow social media and here and there, touch bases, you know, things of that nature.
Okay, so we'll kind of speed up a little bit. You know, on that, I would wonder, like, when they would do those, especially when I met you, when they would do those, like, where are you now? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never asked you, but I, you know what I'm saying, asked you now, like, why you never signed up for nothing else?
Well, I was on TMZ back in when was that? 2016, 2017, and it was where are they at? Where are they now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I knew that the game was like looking. You know what I'm saying? I had questions, you know, for me to be on there, and so I never just really. I was always because I started Go Get Enterprises in 2016, and I was more focused on that part of it. Like I said, the things I know now, if I knew then, I would have been blasting my name and my character. And I didn't understand how deep it was in the game and how much of a legend I really was until you really start seeing it. And really after the documentary came out on Peacock, and the response from that, and when I seen all the, you know, everything with that, that's when really I was like, man, this is bigger than I ever thought it was.
As far as Black history, was you the first black kid on? Like, who was it another black kid before?
So yeah, that's what I was saying. Salim Grant is his name.
Yeah, you're right.
He was the original, but he only did three videos with Sandy Duncan, and so he didn't get his play or his shine like, of course, like I did, because they was in the baby stages. Right. So when Salim went and he started, he was that's why I like to give him his roses, because he was the first black that was on Barney, even though if it was only for 3 episodes, 3 days, 3 years, whatever. Right. You keep it solid, right? So he was there, and then I came in right after that. So people know me as being the first black on Barney, you know what I'm saying? But I like to always keep it solid.
Like, that's hard though. I mean, it's somewhere in there you set the tone for something. And if it ain't that, it's nigga doing consecutive episodes. It's something. Nigga.
You know what? By you saying that, I didn't even realize till my wife one day. She pointed out when we did our Radio City music hall. I mean, live in New York. Yeah. When we went to Radio City. Was it Radio City? I can't hear you. Trey? I can't hear you. The lights on, baby. You gotta speak up, church.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Majestic, I'm thinking that I heard. Yeah. Right. So Radio City in New York, she said, and when you push play at the when I first came out and they introducing the names, she said, "Do you hear how they cheer for you?" And I was like, "What's somebody?" She was like, "Listen." So I listened to everybody, and then I listened to me, and then I went back and listened to everybody, and then listened to me, and it was like, it was a whole different ball game, bro. They was there, and we went when we went to did that broadcast in Connecticut, '92 or '93, for that telethon.
Yeah.
It was me and Tina who went, and so they didn't have anybody else from Barney, you know what I'm saying, Lucy or Michael. They was all originals.
Right.
And so, you know, I didn't understand till later on, like, bro, you were Michael Jordan, if not Scottie Pippen of that thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you had blacks, Hispanic, anybody who wasn't, like, really of a Caucasian culture who looked up to you and said, man, look, if he can do it, I can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't understand how that solid till later on in the game. You know what I'm saying?
That on that notion, like, it was niggas like us that was like, damn, nigga, we can be on TV.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that shit there. Hey, so did y'all ever like cross paths with like the Nickelodeon cats? Y'all never saw them guys.
Nah, we ain't never beef with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm Barney. I'm Nick.
Yeah,
I'm Sesame Street. What's up with the girl?
Like, right.
Nah,
like,
so
it was never like y'all was never in the same settings.
Nah, I mean, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Not that I can remember, unless we was doing, you know, like we was at the Grammys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You went to the Grand God. Damn.
I just don't be, you know, but we got nominated when we went to New York that time.
Yeah.
We got nominated for Best Daytime Kids Television Show. And so we had won the Grammy at that time. And so since we were going up there for the Grammys anyway, that's when they said, well, let's go ahead and do the 14-day tour up here in New York. You know what I'm saying? And so we killed two birds with one stone. That was like 90, what was that, 92?
94.
94.
Damn. Some of you little motherfuckers weren't even born yet. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Hey,
for
man,
real.
y'all watching this.
Ask your mama, ask
Y'all
your
watching,
daddy.
they watching. I like, nigga, no, like, I know if my nine, like, nigga, they was still, it's just on YouTube. Man.
Right,
like,
yeah.
It ain't, we was on VHS.
Still pulled it up.
Yeah, like, man, man, y'all clap, man. You know what I'm saying? My nigga Ricky Carter, you know what I'm saying? Dear.
Appreciate
Like that, man, that's hard. That's hard.
Appreciate
Okay, so from that, when you totally outgrow that, how, like, I know that you an artist, but like, when did you, well, I can't say when, because you was already a fucking artist then, you was recording then.
Bro, come on
It was
with the
on
question,
accident,
because
right?
come on with it, bro.
When did you, like,
it
just
made
go,
me
shit, I'm
think-
finna go rap then?
Bro, and I didn't even think about, like, the whole time, I didn't even think about how Barney had me spitting rhymes since I was 7 and 8.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? And the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And the tree and the hole, and the hole, and the grass, and the grass, and the wind, and the wind. Like, I was, bro, until like years ago, I was thinking, I was like, dang, man, I've been an artist since I was 7. And so when I think about it, solid, I was like, man, like me and my partner, Crazy Chris had did a song when I was in high school. I was a senior called "Give Me Your Pen."
Yeah.
And I did a verse and then the hook, but it was like, "Give me your pen so I can write about my life of sin. I've seen the lives of many men blown past in the wind. Give me your pen so I can write about my life of sin. I tell you how this all go down if you give me your pen, give me your pen." So that's my first like rhyme that I wrote just for 16 on, and you know what I'm saying? I was like 15. I was like 16, 17. And so after that, what made me really just start rapping though is I had got into an accident off SV off Spring Valley, and I was leaving the basketball court. When I was leaving the basketball court, it was me and 4 other people in my SUV. I had Explorer, and so when I was driving, coming out on the little 2-way street off of like Mayhem, then I was coming just down the street, and then there was some apartments right here. And when I was driving, somebody had sped up, and they was trying to get to the other side of the 2-way street to the other street. So when I was driving, I looked to the left and I seen them, and they sped up and hit the back of my rod. And so when they hit the back of my SUV, it hit the curve, and when it hit the curve, it just started flipping down the street.
Yeah.
So when it started flipping down the street, that's my finger right here came open, my nail came through the other side, and then I got a little cut on the face, and that was it. And so nothing like the other people in the car, nothing happened to them or nothing like that. And so I knew it was a blessing from God because I had a pistol in the car. It had one in the chamber and it was off safety. And I had a pound of weed in the car, everything, bro, and it landed with the wheels up, right? I'm about to get you the pictures. It landed with the wheels up. And when it landed with the wheels up and it was smashed in, it was like this close from being to my head. And so they drug me out the car, rushed me to the hospital. Well, speed up. What happened was that I had went to church. I heard in Mesquite. I used to go to church for 20 years, Mesquite Friendship Baptist Church, and And so what happened was that I went and I testified about what happened. So when I was leaving, usher said, Sister Pam, she said, "Son, you were so gifted."
Right.
And so at that time, I was going by Lil Rick.
Right.
And my first demo I did, Situations, November 6, 01, it was Lil Rick. Well, when I went at the end of 01 and I testified, then 02, speed up a little bit. Well, when I went home that same day, I testified my Aunt Joyce, my mama was in the kitchen. And I said, "Man, I just went to church, testified about the accident." And I said, "Man, something telling me to go just in here to write." And they said, "Okay, well, go ahead, be all you can be."
Yeah.
So I went in the room and I started writing, and I wrote a song called "Test Me," and I say, "If this is just a test, let my soul to rest, release this misery and pain that's on my chest, help my mind get released from all this stress. You're my only way out, Father. I know it's a test. I know it's a test." And so after that, I had put out Situations, but right before that, in December 601, we did a show with my partner named Robert Wright, and I hung with older people all the time, and he was like, "Man, what should my name be, bro?" And I was like, "Man," I said, "Bro, you a gifted singer to me, bro. Your name should be Gifted." And he was like, "Nah, man, I'm Robert Wright. I'm Mr. Wright." And knowing my life, he was like, "Nah, bro, you gifted." And then I thought about what Sister Pam had said a little while back at the church. I was saying so gifted. So I started going by Gifted in 2002.
Right.
And so then how I got the go-getter is, well, after I shot in my spine, I was paralyzed November 13th, 04. Then I went to, in 05, it was like June or July in 05, I had just got, the doctor said I never walk no more. So I had just got off of the walker, and I was on 2 crab leg crutches. And I had did a show with my cousin, Big Deezy, and we was over at the Erica Badu spot. So you can either pay like $250 to like enter a contest where judges saw you.
This was what year?
This was in 05. This was like June, July of 05. So I just got on my walker and I was on 2 crab leg crutches. So you can either pay, but I was still spitting, bro. I was always on. I never stopped not being on it. So I paid the you can pay $250 to either win first place and get $5,000, second place $2,500, or third place $1,000, or you can pay $100 and just get seen by the judges. So I knew I wasn't ready for all that, you know what I'm saying? I had, beside and everything. So I paid the $100. So when I paid the $100, me and my kinfolk Deezy went in there, sat down in the chair. He sat on my right, I sat down, and people first were laughing at me. That was the time that back in the day we wore them long white tees and the, you know what I'm saying, the soldieries and all that. So I had Gifted in the prayer hands on my shirt, long white tee. Everybody laughed like, "Man, he ain't gonna rap, bro." So I go in, I kill the show. So everybody started running up to the stage afterwards and was like, "Bro, you a go-getter, fam.
Right.
Man, you a go-getter, bro. I ain't know you finna go out there hard, boy." So that's when the go-getter was born. You know what I'm saying? And in December June, July of '05.
Right.
And so after that, I started going by Gifted the Go Getter,
Right.
GTGG. So that's when in January of '06, that's when I started Go Getter ENT, the music part of it, and then my first mixtape, Go Get It Volume 1.